Hello and welcome to Box Office Booze, the movie review show where we drink and talk about movies. My guests today are...
Hi, I'm Omar.
And I'm Mia.
From the YouTube channel Two Broke Geeks.
Our movie today is Oz the Great and Powerful, starring James Franco, made by Sam Raimi, that are trying to recreate the old 1939 Wizard of Oz. Did they succeed? I don't know. Let's get some drinks in us.
Cheers.
Bras.
Bras.
So we've had our drinks, so it's time to give a synopsis of Oz the Great and Powerful. Be warned, at this point, there are spoilers. That was a spoiler alert, in case you didn't know. Let's start off with a synopsis of Oz the Great and Powerful. Mia, why don't you start?
All right. Well, we begin in boring old black and white 4:3 aspect ratio.
Just like this right now.
What? Oh, we're gonna get so cut off.
This doesn't look good at all.
It's like no information coming through the screen.
Well, that's how Kansas was.
In 1905.
And James Franco's there at a traveling circus, and he's a magician and also a womanizer. And
He does a show that doesn't really turn out that well. He womanizes a couple of people, right? A farm maiden and stuff. And then this strong man tries to come after him, and he jumps in a balloon. And the balloon takes him to a what?
A tornado. He runs into a tornado, and then time stops because he prays to God.
And it becomes color.
Yep.
Like, ooh, and 16 by 9, and he's in Oz. And then he meets Mia Kunis.
Yeah.
Mila Kunis?
And
Kunis.
I don't know how to say that.
You were looking at me and said
Witch.
Mia.
Witch. He meets the witch.
Yeah.
A witch.
A witch.
A witch. And they go to the Emerald City, and there's a prophecy of what's the prophecy?
It said like a wizard would arrive to free them of the evil witch.
Yes, who they say is at the Dark Forest. So he goes to the Dark Forest, and then his whole world changes.
Because he wants gold.
He wants gold.
Yeah, they're
He's like a
you
leprechaun.
can't get gold unless like you stop the evil witch.
You know, which is what my mom told me too.
That you were a leprechaun or that?
Well, no, that you needed to kill a witch to get gold.
Oh.
Now it's time to say who we thought was the best actor and the worst actor in the movie. Mia?
Best actor, James Franco. Worst actor, James Franco.
I agree exactly. James Franco is the best actor and the worst actor. But here's my caveat with that. James Franco is the best actor in the movie when it's black and white and 4:3, like an old-timey Kansas. But when they go to Oz, he is the worst actor in the movie. It's like he can't act in color or something. Like Technicolor throws off his game. I don't know, he just became silly and cheesy, and he had too many smiles for mine. And he squinted a lot. He just
I think that maybe James Franco was born too early, and if he maybe was like a silent film actor or something, he would have been this amazing Hollywood star.
I would buy him as a Buster Keaton type person, yeah. What did you think, man? Who's the best actor, worst actor?
I thought the best actor was tied between Wheelchair Girl in the beginning.
Okay.
Because she was the most real moment in the black and white like Kansas universe that we have.
She was like, make me walk, Oz. You're a great magician, make me walk.
And the second, the person who's also tying is Bruce Campbell, who is the only believable performance for me in Oz. Like he's like, I'm a guard in Oz.
He was the lead guard outside the gate of the Emerald City.
And that was his
with
job.
a big mustache. That became believable with a giant chin. They made his chin twice the size, man.
They made it. They increased his chin size, which should have taken up the full 16 by 9, but somehow it didn't.
And imagine if you saw this movie in 3D, it probably would have smacked you in the face.
Yep.
All right, now let's talk about what Oz the Great and Powerful did really well. All right, I'm just gonna go first. I think the movie really captured the feeling of needing to believe. You know, in the original movie, Dorothy, she has these ruby slippers, and they find out at the very end of the movie that she could have clicked her heels, the dumb idiot, and gone home at any time instead of like playing around with a lion on a poppy field. But in this same film, especially in the Chinatown scene, Oz fixes this China girl with glue, and she believes he's a wizard just because he believes he's a wizard. He's like, oh, I can do that. I can glue your thing. And the whole movie is based around this belief that if you believe something, it can happen. So if they believe that this really weird huckster con man that smiles weirdly is a wizard, he can win the day. I mean, what do you think? What did this movie do very well?
First, for your own benefit, I will clarify that China Girl is a girl made of China, and Jason is not being a racist.
Yeah, it's not something they referred to like Anime Wong.
Not a racist, right here.
I mean, maybe, but as far as I can tell,
I'm not. No.
But speaking of the Chinatown scene, what I really liked that it did was...
Isn't this a weird phrase, really quick? Just that we're talking about Oz the Great and Powerful, and we're like, the Chinatown scene.
You know that scene where they went down to Chinatown in San Francisco?
You know where James Franco got his nose broken and had to wear a bandage the entire movie? The Chinatown scene.
This is Chinatown, Oz.
What'd you think, Omar?
I would say the best thing about this is the fact that it makes like early cinema so exciting. What I mean by that is like, all right, you know in Hugo how like everyone is like, no, like the when like Méliès was making movies, it was so great, and the purpose of it was supposed to send kids to the library to like look up books about like early cinema, but no one did that. Like Hugo did not have that effect.
Because it's movies.
Because it's movies. Like, no, why don't I just watch a movie about movies? I think this one will get kids excited about Edison, where they're just like, wait, there was a thing that you could like turn and like an elephant.
There's something called a light bulb?
Exactly, yeah. Wait, they didn't have those before? There's something cool about that, like that what we're interested in and what you're watching, like you're going to the movie theater to watch a movie, is wizardry itself.
So besides stuff that was made in the 1900s that we thought was really awesome, thank you for that history lesson, Professor Omar, what did we think really sucked with the movie? Mia?
I thought, now I don't know if this was like a purposeful artistic choice they were doing, but the CG was kind of distracting.
I totally agree. The CGI sucked. Every scene in Oz, you felt that 3 inches away from the actor was completely fake, and it was so obviously fake. And like you said, was that on purpose because the original Wizard of Oz was nothing but backdrops, or was it just bad CGI? I don't know, Disney, you tell me.
But more unforgivable is it's that one of those 3D movies where you watch it, if you don't watch it in 3D, you're like, oh, this is like embarrassingly bad.
What did you think, Omar? What was bad? What's bad about this movie?
I would say what, for me, was the biggest tease of the movie, the thing that I was like, why wasn't there more of, was the Raimi elements. Like, you see the graveyard, and I know that we're all Army of Darkness fans.
Did you say Raimi elements?
Raimi,
Yes, Sam Raimi, the director of the film.
And when you first see Glenda, and there's like that cemetery, I'm like, say the words. And there's like these little moments that you're just like...
Well, the biggest, now, I wouldn't call this worse at all. I think this would be in best. When he is in the balloon being transported to Oz, they did Evil Dead homages where these boards were coming at him and the camera was the boards. And then the snapping things, the snapping rope was a direct homage to Dr. Octopus of Spider-Man 2, where his came at him. And in fact, if you don't know what we're talking about, we'll show you right now.
Now, what I really want to talk about is all the tie-ins of the original movie, because there's like a lot of like weird Easter eggs and stuff they threw in there. I mean, there's like the lion that like...
That he creates the Cowardly Lion.
He creates the Cowardly Lion, and like they hang a lantern on it, and he's like, you coward! And it's like, oh, is a lion and he's cowardly?
They had the poppies, they introduced the field of deadly
and they didn't go that direction. Okay, so neither one of you brought up what I thought was the biggest tie-in to the original Wizard of Oz of all time. So much so that I laughed hugely, and it became, like, it made both of you turn to look at me during the movie. But this could completely change the Wizard of Oz universe. There is a crazy theory. The very beginning of the movie, in 1905 Kansas, James Franco is met by a blonde farm girl. You know, they're in Kansas, and he talks about, and you get that there's a relationship. And she says that, oh, I'm engaged. And he's just like, well, you know, I don't know. But you can tell that they have been fooling around, and because mom gives him a pie and all stuff like that. And she says, the farmhand, John Gale.
Well, I did notice that.
Asked me to marry him. So, the blonde woman is Dorothy's mother. Okay? That is a pretty big thing.
Yeah, that
Now,
was...
here is my theory.
Okay.
Here we go. This is gonna blow your minds.
Oh.
Oz is the father of Dorothy.
Whoa.
The illegitimate father of Dorothy. Hence the reason why Dorothy can travel to the land of Oz.
That's nuts.
That's a little
huge
more...
That is complete. Because otherwise, how can she access this weird, strange world?
That's true.
She can because it's in her blood.
That's
Dorothy is the
little-
illegitimate child of the wizard, and the wizard does not know.
So is Dorothy's mom... Well, hold on, wait, I'm thinking because...
And boom! But see, there's also, the Wizard of Oz has this weird thing, and Wizard of Oz, you always got the impression that it was a dream. Although yet it wasn't a dream, yet it was. But Oz the Great and Powerful never gives you the aspect that it's a dream. Oz the Great and Powerful says, this is a real place.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, do you judge it as a dream, or do you judge it as a real place? And see, to me in The Wizard of Oz, I've always dreamed it as is that she accessed a real place through a dream. That's the way I feel. Yeah, because Glinda was essentially Dorothy's mom. It's weird, I don't know. Dorothy is the Wizard of Oz's daughter. Go with it.
I think that Oz, the guy, I think, because in Wizard of Oz, the tornado happens, then she goes to Oz, and then she wakes up, right? In this one, we don't get that. And I know it's because
the movie. Spoilers. The movie ends where he becomes the Wizard of Oz. He's still in the Emerald City, and it just goes the end.
And it's necessary to make the other movie happen. Yeah.
I think he died. Like, I don't think that this was a dream. Like, I think that, like, Oz,
totally explain.
You think Oz is the actor? Whoa, explain this.
Yes.
This is crazy.
Yes.
he didn't survive the tornado, is what I think.
You think he died?
Yes.
You think he got killed in the Sam Raimi?
And he says it because he's like, remember, Oz died. Remember, like, he does that thing, Frank died so the wizard could live.
Are you trying to throw a Sixth Sense ending in this thing?
Yeah.
I am 100%
So Dorothy
on board.
accesses the afterlife to talk to her father.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Now it's time to give our rating of Oz the Great and Powerful. 4 shots means it's a must-see. 1 shot means skip it altogether. What do you guys think?
I will give it 3 shots with the caveat again that if you see it with your kids or with some kids, it's a kids movie, so you won't get bored and you'll have fun seeing it in theaters. If you don't like kids movies, then maybe not.
I would give it 2 shots. It's interesting because you get to see a lot of green screen stuff and like how people can use green screen to tell stories. But I feel like ultimately if you're a huge fan of the original, there's a few things of this that might annoy you. Also, I'm gonna add, if you're gonna go see it in theaters because I think the spectacle is what's gonna pull you in. If you wait to see it on like your TV screen, it's gonna be too small to really impress you.
My rating of Oz the Great and Powerful is 3 shots. And I have a little couple of options to that. 1, go see it if you're a Wizard of Oz fan. If you're not a Wizard of Oz fan, then I would say wait for Netflix. And if you've never heard of the Wizard of Oz at all, then I would say skip this movie completely. But I'm a big Wizard of Oz fan, and plus I'm from Kansas, so I'm biased, and I give this 3 shots, go see it in the theaters. And that's a review of Oz the Great and Powerful. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. And suggest in the comments any future movies you want us to review. Omar and Mia, where can the internets find you if they want to check out more of your loveliness?
You can visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/2brokegeeks, the number 2 broke geeks, and that on Facebook and Twitter also.
All right, thanks for joining me
Thank
here
you for having
in
us.
the lovely Justice Bar of Awesome. For Box Office Booze, be seeing you.